Hi, I'm Dick Tonachel. Our journey to Stowe, to the Stowe Weekend of Hope, began in 2005 when my wife Ann was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and she started into treatment. At some point, we learned in 2006 about the Stowe Weekend of Hope, and that's what brought us here the first time, and we haven't stopped coming back.
I just happened upon a flyer about the Stowe Weekend of Hope about the time I was finishing treatment, and there was that desire to try to get back to some kind of normalcy in life after 7 months of chemotherapy. And we decided, we love this part of the country, so we decided to come up and try it out. And we've been coming back ever since. The thing I remember most about that first weekend in May of 2006 was that I felt so comfortable being with the people that were here. I had no hair, I looked pretty wan and obviously had been sick, and I could walk around town here and nobody stared at me. People were very polite, they were considerate, they just couldn't do enough for us. And everybody was happy, and we had just come through a time that it was a little bit hard to find happiness.
I was so pleased that this was a good experience for Ann, and it turned out to be a good one for me too, to enjoy this place and to enjoy the comradeship of the people and to learn in the workshops and the presentations about disease and about living with disease and how to live with a positive outlook. And the laughter was part of the weekend and still is, and that's an important part of healing.
I remember that first time that you took a dance class, which I've been trying to get you to do for years. But he came up here and he took a dance class.
Well, it was sort of a wild yoga dance just to loosen us up, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I think that first weekend we just really learned that we weren't alone, that there were lots of people like us, and that there was a lot of hope. And that sent us home with a really different attitude than we had coming in. And later that same year, I just happened to meet some people that were connected to Boston Medical Center. I myself was treated at Dana-Farber in Boston. But I met these people at Boston Medical Center who were just beginning to think about having a support group for women with ovarian cancer. And fortunately, I was invited to help get this going. And it has been a remarkable, just a remarkable life event for me to get to know these women, to invite new women in, how we support each other. And I suggested the next year that some of us come up here. And I think that first year we had maybe 10, and this year we have 45. So it grows and grows. This will be the third year for most of the women. We're very aware of the new women that we bring along with us and their families. This year we have a woman whose husband really hasn't been able yet to kind of take in what's happened to his wife, and I think that for him being with some of the other men is going to be really helpful. We have a wonderful time together. We spend a lot of time laughing, and we also spend time mourning. One of the things we'll do up here is at the memorial service tomorrow night is that we'll be able to say out loud and light a candle for the women in our group and the women that we've known who have died from ovarian cancer. So it's brought a richness to our lives that we just never would have experienced. Certainly the having cancer changes your life, but having cancer and learning that you can live with it and that you can laugh with it that it can enrich that the people you meet enrich your lives. Stowe has been an integral part of that.
And the Stowe experience is wonderful. The people in the town are so welcoming and friendly, and just the fact that they open up their hotels to patients at very little money, and in this beautiful environment, and you've got the assets of the walkway along the river, etc. And the program is such that we're free to participate as much as we would like to. There's nothing mandatory about the Stowe Weekend of Hope, but it's also positive that you want to be part of it.
The workshops, we've learned so much from the workshops. This morning I went to a workshop on relieving stress. Everybody has some. And we got some really useful tips, and it's all geared to something that you can take back home with you and put into practice. Certainly on the Friday night of the weekend, there are disease-specific desserts, which I always think is sort of a funny thing. But we've gone every year, and every year we've learned more about current treatments, about treatments for recurrent disease. It has you leaving. I mean, it's called the Stowe Weekend of Hope for a real reason, because you come away from this weekend with a lot of hope.
The speakers are good. They're authoritative. They know their specialties, and some of them know how to communicate very clearly and encouragingly.
Each year we obviously have gone out and told other people about this weekend. That's evident by the fact that there's so many of us this year, and we've reached out beyond the ovarian cancer group. This year we have a couple of women with breast cancer, a man with skin cancer, and somebody who's had bone marrow transplants. And I think one of the things I see in Stowe, and I've heard this said before, but it's really obvious here, you may think that you're just in utter misery, and you look around and you can see someone else who's survived much more than has been asked of you. So that provides a sense of, get up and go and take care of yourself. So you learn how to live with cancer at the Stowe Weekend of Hope.
And take care of others, too. It opens our hearts to what other people are experiencing. And in general, I think, has softened me somewhat in approaching people who are ill.
So it's been a gift in our lives, and will hopefully continue for many years. We'll be back here every year, and we don't care if it's a beautiful day like today, or it's snowing, or it's raining. We'll be here.
Thank you, Stowe.